Good morning. Welcome to season 2 of Dr. BB in the Middle. This is my first episode this season. And yep, I've taken a break. Tried to come back a few times, but I just wasn't ready for a lot of reasons. One was just plain old simple fatigue. There's racial battle fatigue. There's woman battle fatigue. There's just plain old human battle fatigue. We've been fighting COVID we're into year 2, folks, and it's not fun. And we've still got people out there dying. Not as many cases are going down, but that's because of the folks who are vaccinated, not because COVID is going away. But we know that we've got a winter ahead of us. And when we're closed up indoors, we know that just like any virus, that we're going to be more susceptible to it. Our kids are in schools. They bring all kinds of yucky things home. I know I have a little 5-year-old grandson who lives with me. I've gotten sick so many times this year because of kid germs. And so next week, when the FDA approves emergency use for our kids 5 and up to be vaccinated against the COVID virus, please, please, please get your babies vaccinated. We do not need to have our children sick and bringing home illness to their parents who may be immunocompromised, parents who've already been struggling financially. Nobody wants to lose their job because they're sick. Nobody who is an hourly worker who doesn't have a bank of sick days can afford it. And then we've got people quitting their jobs because they're being told that in order to work with the public that they have to have a vaccine. It's just crazy. It's beyond a political thing. It's not politicized anymore. It's just freaking insane. So get your babies vaccinated. You know, I know that there's a long history of reasons that Black folk and other people of color do not trust the medical community. But I have to tell you that when you see ignorant white folk standing over a barrel, burning their mask like women burning bras in the damn 70s, that does not tell me, oh, wow, okay, I better listen to them. When people are threatening members of their school board because they want to protect children, that does not tell me that that is a good idea. Some of these people think that white privilege is a real thing that really has existed, that's been given to them, and that they're not going to get sick. I don't know if they think that their God or their Jesus or their whomever is going to protect them. But I know that a lot of people who were breathing their last breaths under those ventilators, as well as their families who were watching this play out on an iPad, were praying to that same God and that same Jesus. And these folks still died. Hundreds of thousands of them died. As we go into the colder weather, as we're looking forward to the holidays, we all want to be with our families. If you have a grandma out there, do you really want to go to her house and make her sick? You're going to be sitting around a table. If everybody's masked up sitting in the living room watching football, and then you're all gathered around the table and you're talking and you're laughing and literally spitting food across the table at one another, that's dangerous. Get the vaccine. You've almost got the full amount of time that you need to be fully vaccinated. Get your first vaccine this week. Then you'll be able to get the second vaccine in 3. And then, yes, you are supposed to wait a week before being around people. But some protection is better than no protection. Okay? Our kids need to feel safe in schools. Parents need to know that their kids aren't going to come home and make them sick. We're just now beginning to get back to work. We don't want to be sick and not have the sick days to be able to be out. We don't want to lose productivity. And so that brings me to education. We've got people going out of their damn minds over critical race theory. I was a teacher for 17 years. Critical race theory is not taught in the schools. Unless someone is teaching social psychology or sociology, they are not teaching critical race theory. Toni Morrison did not instruct critical race theory. She wrote about race and racism. And even in her works of fiction, what she wrote about was truth. And so that is the reason that writers such as Toni Morrison are trying to silence them, because they don't want white, black, brown children to know the truth. They don't want them to know what was going on. They want to hide it. And this isn't new. The 17 years that I taught, the number of times that I was called into the principal's office because I was teaching To Kill a Mockingbird, and I was talking about racism, and I was not only talking from a point of literature or history, I was talking from a point of knowledge. When Trayvon Martin was murdered, I got in trouble for telling my kids that sadly, black and brown kids, you are not safe on the streets. Pardon me, I have to take a sip of my warm coffee. This is what COVID does to you folks. I got in trouble for saying, yeah, hoodies are great, but if you're a black kid, you should not wear your hoodie outdoors, because people associate that with being a hoodlum. I got in trouble for saying that. And because I'm lighter skinned, people thought, okay, you're a racist. No, I'm not a racist. I'm telling kids the same things that their mamas and daddies are telling them now. I know that parents, black parents, have always told their kids that you have to be different. You have to carry yourself differently. You have to do better. It's a double standard. Sorry, that was my water bottle crackling. And now they're saying, when you're in the car and you're stopped by a police officer, keep your hands 10 and 2. Orchestrate your every movement. Be polite. Keep your head up. Hands on the wheel. They ask you to get out, just go ahead and do it. And that's the hardest thing, because you know that they're going to jerk that car door open. You know they're going to pull your kid out. But you also know that if that kid gets out of that car, that there's a chance he or she will die right then and there. These are conversations black parents are having with their kids, and they're talking about them out loud now. I hear politicians. I hear news people. I hear doctors all talking about it now. But as a teacher, looking out at my students whom I love so much, talking to them about these things to help them stay alive, I got in trouble. I got in trouble because it was controversial. Since when is saving a life controversial? It's the same thing with COVID. Why is it controversial to keep people alive. We deserve to live in a world that is safe for everyone. And so, Black folk, if you're not getting your vaccine, is it because you're listening to crazy white folk who stand over a barrel and burn their mask like women in the 70s burning their bras? I'm sorry, but that doesn't make me feel like they know what's going on. So I got to tell you that when you're in your car and you see those blue lights flashing behind you, you have no control over what's going to happen when that cop gets out of that car. But you can have control over what you decide to do in your choice to get vaccinated. And if your job has told you that you need a vaccine to keep your job, get the vaccine. Don't lose your job to some white Republican who has an axe to grind. That's just giving them more power. So, those are just a few of the things that we have to continue talking about. And I'm going to try to be with you every Sunday because I can't allow myself to get tired. I've seen other people continue. I need to continue. Yeah, my audience is small. It's gotten smaller since I've been quiet for a while because I've been sick. Okay. Been sick several times. Most recently, I'm suffering from a broken foot. So a lot's been going on. But it's time for us to catch up together, to continue the conversation. And so I'm going to be with you, Dr. BB, in the middle every Sunday. And I hope that you share this. I'm going to try to step outside of my need to be perfect. And instead of recording and editing and stopping and starting, I'm just going to be real. Just like I was when I was a teacher. I was unscripted. And that's the reason my kids loved me so much. And so, you know what? I'm hoping that that same unscripted Dr. BB will appeal to my podcast audiences. So for now, this is Dr. BB in the middle, signing out. And I wish you a happy and safe Halloween, a safe week ahead, and I'll be with you again next Sunday.